I'm doing this video because I had an online interview and I excelled, and I thought that I should share. It's not how you do all the things I said in this video that you will not excel. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you know, my name is Kuseme Ise, and here I share insights on education, career advancement and personal development. So today on career advancement, we're talking about acing your online interview. So I recently had an online interview and I got a very positive feedback. The panelists told me that, man, you did excellent in your interview, and I was like, wow, my YouTube community, they have to know this, they have to know the things I did to excel at that interview, and that's why I am here to share this information with you guys. If you're yet to subscribe to this channel, I encourage you to do so because there is so much to learn from this channel, and if you're a returning subscriber, of course you know how much I love you. Okay, so let's get this started. For the fact that it's an online interview does not mean that it's going to be so different from a face-to-face interview. You're going to basically do almost the same things that you would do if you were facing your panelists, like if you were sitting right opposite your panelists. So interviews naturally have three stages. We have before the interview, during the interview, and after the interview. What do you do at the pre-interview, before the interview, and all that? What do you do? Number one, you have to research about the firm or the organization you're applying to. You have to research what is it that they do, what are their recent achievements, what are their recent awards, and what do they lack that you are capable of contributing. What is it that, what skill do they really need, what skill do they lack that you feel like you can fill the gap. So when you do all those research and find out exactly what industry they are playing, who are their competitors, what is it that they are lacking, you are better versed with the knowledge you need to answer the questions that they may throw at you during the interview. Also, before the interview, you have to research possible panelists. Who are the people that are going to interview you? Because it's an online interview, you have to know the platforms that you're going to have this interview in. For instance, the interview I just had was on Microsoft Teams, and you know how Microsoft Teams notification is. When they send you the interview notification, you probably just go to your Teams app, open it, and you will see all the invitees to the interview. So what I did was I opened my Microsoft Teams, I saw all the invitees, I checked their names. I didn't know anybody, obviously. I went on LinkedIn, I typed their names. I first went on Google, I typed their names, and I saw a lot of profile, but of course you know the organization and you all have to trace to identify the person that best suits the description or best suits the organization that you are applying to. Then I went ahead to go on LinkedIn, I checked their names, I was able to identify them, I read about them, what they do, just to have a background idea. And then based on their online activities, you will likely know what the person's interests are. Is he someone that is interested in extracurricular, or is this just strictly work? This helps you identify the kind of person your interviewers are, their moods, their temperaments, and all of that. You cannot take that away, so you always have to research your panelists. So because I already had an idea of the kind of people that were in the panel, when the interview even started, don't worry, I'll tell you what happened during the interview. But so that just takes care of your pre-interview stage, your research and all that. So when you're done researching about the firm online, of course you know that most organizations control their online presence. They want you to see what they want you to see. They put out information that they want you to see. So they're going to say all the beautiful things, all the nice things there. But before you proceed to your interview, try and get inside information. Do you know anyone that works in that organization? Do you know anyone that knows someone in that organization? It is always better to talk to someone that is inside, and then probably someone that has done that interview before. It's going to help you because you're going to know the possible questions, how long the interview will take, what kind of questions they're likely to ask you, things like that, how the interview goes. If you don't have prior knowledge, if you don't ask someone, sometimes you'll be culturally shocked. You may be shocked at the interview. Guys, it is online, yes, but it doesn't mean that all the rules of interviews have been taken away. So it just gives you additional advantage because that way you have all the time in the world to research. So what am I saying? Talk to someone in the organization, research the organization, and find out possible solutions that you're going to tell them. that you're going to introduce to their firm or you're going to bring to them, and how you're possibly just going to make the organization better when they employ you. So now let's talk about the interview itself. I want to assume that you have done all your research now and you're ready to go for this online interview. Okay, when the interview is face to face, they already have the location for you and you don't have to worry about that. Because it is online, you have to take charge of your own setting, where you are staying to take the interview, the device you are using, the environment. First of all, it has to be a very quiet spot. You don't want to be interrupted during interviews. You don't want somebody to open the door while you're having your interview, and then you have to turn and be like, I'm walking, or things like that. It doesn't make any sense. If you stay with people, it's either you announce to them that, hey guys, I have an interview so and so time, so I'm going to lock everyone out of my room. Don't even come knocking. Or you have to go to a place that will help you, a place that is quiet. For instance, for me, not like my house wasn't going to be comfortable, but I wasn't sure. I didn't just want any excuses. So I had to go to my office to take that interview. And I did not just stay in my office, I went to the library. You know how library setting is. It's very, very corporate. It's very it to just make you feel like, it will make your interviewers feel like this person is actually a very serious person. The background was all books, shelves and all that. It was good. And then your setting is very important. Okay, so forget about everything that is in front of you. Everything that you are seeing is going to be you and your computer. And then your interviewer is going to see you and your background. So please be careful not to put backgrounds that are going to distract your interviewer, or things that wouldn't look so corporate. On a normal day, the interview is supposed to be face to face and you're supposed to dress corporate and you're supposed to be in their office. For the fact that you're not in their office doesn't mean that you should stay in your kitchen and do an interview, or you should stay in a place that is noisy or is not comfortable. Please look for a very quiet spot and have your interview. Avoid distractions at the background. Like I said, I used a library, and the library setting is very corporate. It has books behind, it has shelves and all of that. And then I was corporately dressed the same way I would have done in a face-to-face interview. My hairs were all packed behind, like this right here. Don't mind, I didn't wear this dangly earring though, but my hairs were all packed behind. I had a very comfortable makeup, not too loud, just whatever. And then I was corporately dressed. Like, oh, if you had seen me that day, oh God, you would love me. Another thing is that depends on the device you want to use. Ahead of time, you have to practice if you're going to use your phone or you're going to use your computer. So I had that issue because I felt like my phone camera was better than that of my computer. But the thing is that I had issues with my phone audio, with the audio of my phone, and I didn't want to gamble that, despite the fact that I preferred that the camera of my phone was very nice, but I just preferred just going with my computer because I trusted the audio of my computer. Another thing is, if you know that you need voice enhancers, maybe your phone is not that good, or your computer, I think you should get a microphone that you can clip into your phone and then clip it to you, and so that your voice will be enhanced when you're having your interview, so that your interviewers will hear you very clearly. You don't want to be speaking and then they're saying, hello, what are you saying? We can't hear you, you're not audible, please can you be audible? You will just forget what you wanted to say, and you wouldn't like that. Please kindly fix your devices. Make sure you have full batteries. In fact, plug it while you are using it. Okay, you don't know how long this interview will last. Okay, my interview, I had a 1 hour slot, and my interview lasted for 50 minutes. And you wouldn't want to be in the middle of interview and then your phone goes off, or you have battery low, or your system goes off. So while you charge it and have full battery before the interview, it is still preferable that you plug your system in power while having your interview, for safety reasons, or so that you just double check. Another thing is your internet connection. It is online, for Christ's sake. You should not joke with your internet. Normally, I use an internet for chatting or for social media interactions, and it's fine. But I noticed that whenever I'm on live calls, when I am on internet calls, the the network is not always stable. People on the other end either do not hear me or I don't hear them clearly. So my dear people, I had to go in search of different network providers. I tried different options, and then I had multiple options as well. During the interview, I had my internet on, the internet connection in the office was on, and I still had a MiFi because I didn't want any stories. In fact, there was a story because during the interview, after I was so sure that my network was perfect, my network started fluctuating. And you know what? I immediately switched to the next alternative. I mean, I don't want stories though. So you see, if you didn't have an alternative, you will be stuck. You will be there. Your time will be running. Your interviewers will say, "Hello, can you hear me? Hello," and you will just be there wasting your time. So the aim is for you to be prepared for your interview, and then for you to utilize all your time, maximize your time and your opportunity. My interview was for 1 hour. You don't want 30 minutes to be for network issues. So I needed everything to go smoothly, which it did. Okay, so now we've talked about the setting of your interview. I've told you what to do. Don't get distracting backgrounds. Dress corporately and neatly. Don't be modest in your dressing, and get your devices ready. Let's go straight into the interview. Because it's an online interview doesn't mean that they're not going to see your facial expression. And you know, your expressions really do matter. When you are when you are at the interview, try as much as possible to smile. You know what I mean? Always smile to your interviewer, because you're also showing them that you are confident. That's when you smile and when you're comfortable, you can really interact with your interviewer without having to be so frightened about it. And then going back to what I said, you should research your panelists. What I did was, after I had known their names and all of that, so when the interview started, "Hi Kusame, it's nice to meet you," and I was like, "Hi," I mentioned their names, each of their names. "How are you?" In fact, I even knew their location from the notification. One was London. I think they were all in. I think one was in Nigeria, one was in London, and all that. But then I knew their location, so I was able to greet them by their names, and I asked them, "How is London today? How is the weather?" Be free. They're not gonna eat you up. Even if they were supposed to eat you up, it's online. They're not gonna eat you up. So just be free. That is what research does for you. It gives you a background of who is going to be your interviewer, and then you'll be able to relax and have confidence while interacting. So during the interview, kindly try as much as possible to listen to your questions so that you can give feedback. For instance, if they ask you, "Why would you want us to hire you?" you should tell them your qualifications, and then you should tell them the gap that is in the organization and why you are the best fit for that gap, why you are the best person to fit into that gap. And then when you are done, always try to tie it back to the question. Always try to tie it back to their question so that it won't be like you've gone overboard. After saying all of that, you can just say that these and more are the reasons I want to work in your organization. These and more are the reasons you should hire me. These and more are the reasons that I am the best fit for your organization. Because sometimes we tend to answer questions and we are so involved in the question that we go overboard. Please, while answering your questions, always try to keep tabs on what exactly you were asked, so that while concluding, you take it back to their question, because they are going to score you based on that, based on your understanding of the question, based on your feedback and how you were able to carry them along while answering your questions. Also, when giving your reply, when giving your feedback, observe. It's an online interview. If their network is bad, or if one of the panelists is disconnected, or if they are not hearing you, no matter what you say, they are not going to hear you at their own end. So please try and observe. Are they hearing me? If you're talking and you're not getting any response, it's okay to ask, "Hello, are you still there with me? Can you hear me? Should I continue?" And then when you get a feedback, you can go ahead. I hope you can hear me clearly. Hello, Suzanne. Hi, Suzanne. Are you still with me? Should I continue? And then you get a feedback and then you continue. Because there are some times that you may just be speaking and they're not hearing you, which is just going to be a waste of time on your part. And you don't want that. Also, try as much as possible to display confidence. Fine, it's online, but that doesn't mean that they can see you. They can see you, they can feel you, they can hear you. So this is what I did. I was directly, okay, So when you started your interview, try as much as possible to look at the camera, okay? If you're using your computer, look at your webcam. If you're using your phone, look at your phone camera. Don't look at yourself, okay? Don't be admiring yourself in the camera. Look at the camera, like eye contact, because that's the only way you can give them eye contact. If you look elsewhere, you're not giving them eye contact. But looking straight into the camera means that, oh, this girl is giving us eye contact. She can see me. She's confident. Smile. Put up a smile. Put on a smile. And that is just going to make things better for you. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not talking too much and to make sure that you have gotten my point. Okay, so wrapping up your interview, always, like I said, I advise people, ask them questions, because when you ask questions, either ask questions about the organization. Don't ask questions about their personal life. Please ask them questions about the organization and the workings of the organization. A very good question would be something like, how do you train your employees? How do you make sure that your employees get better at what they do? What is the organization's culture of professional development? You know what I mean? Or you can ask questions about the welfare of staff. Always try as much as possible to ask questions, because that way it shows that you have interest in the organization. I hope you've learned something from this video. I hope you've understood and you're going to put into practice. I'm doing this video because I had an online interview and I excelled, and I thought that I should share, okay? Because I actually asked the question in my interview. I did ask the question. So now your interview is over, and what happens post interview? Sometimes they're going to tell you that, all right, Kuseme, it was nice having you. We're going to get back to you in 1 week time or 2 weeks time, as the case may be. But most times they will tell you when they're going to get back to you, and that's fine. So after the interview, online, because it's online, you probably see their emails, because it was their email address they used to send you the interview invite. When you're done with the interview, maybe after a day or two, it is always nice to send maybe a thank you email to the organization and copy all the panelists. You could just say something like, dear Sarah, dear Ma, I want to say a big thank you for deeming it fit to interview me for the position of so and so in your organization. It was nice interacting with you during the interview, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Do have a pleasant day, or do accept the assurances of my highest regards. So that's like a follow-up email. It shows that, oh my God, this guy has us in mind. He's responsible, he's mature. He just gives them a good mindset about you, a good impression about you. So that is it for online interviews. That is it for acing your online interview. There is no how you do all the things I said in this video that you will not excel. Like I said, always research the organization, know what you are applying for, know the skills for that vacancy, so that you can be able to give them cogent reasons why they should hire you. Please, when you are at the interview, try as much as possible to look into the camera. So, because it is when you're looking directly into the camera that you give your interviewers eye contact. Smile as much as possible, because it will communicate a good message to them about your confidence, okay? If you're saying something, it's okay to be composed, but it's also okay to give hand gestures, although not too much. Everything in modesty, okay? I hope you learned something from this video. If you have any questions, put it down in the comment section. Also, if you have had online interview experience and I haven't said one thing that you know, it's okay to share it in the comment section so that we can also learn. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like this video, and share this video to everyone that you know that this video will help. If you're yet to subscribe to my channel, I encourage you to do so, because there is so much to learn from this channel. Till I come your way in my next video, do well to keep watching other videos of mine and stay tuned to this channel. I'll catch you later. Bye.